Hola, hola.
Yo, what up, Hollow Colt? Welcome back. It's another fun-filled Wednesday. Hope everybody's week is going swimmingly. Halfway there, halfway to the weekend. Over half.
Thank God.
The worst half's over.
I'm definitely tired of working this week already. And I
Same.
get 2 days off this week. So
Hell yeah.
I had Tuesday off, and then I have Friday off.
Hell yeah.
So it's whatever.
Oh. It's better than working all the time.
Well, naturally. Golly, guys. It's literally 8 o'clock and the phone's already ringing. It's already ringing.
You guys are wild.
Yeah, and before, like when the music was playing, the phone was ringing. So somebody's steady calling.
I got a lot of weird shit to talk about.
I think so. I hope that's the case because I want to hear some weird stuff.
Yeah. Stoked. Speaking of weird stuff, how about all them UFOs they shot down this week?
Dude, I don't know what to think about all of this.
It's fucking weird.
I've been listening to a lot of stuff. Like I listen to a lot of everything, but I was listening to Tim Pool and they were talking about it, and like it makes, I hate to even say it, but it like low key makes sense to a degree. Like some of them were throwing out suggestions, like someone or something is virtually almost like using unconventional warfare against us because of all the crazy stuff happening with the train derailments and then you have the factories that burn. Like I realize
Twitter popping off like.
And I also, to be fair, I think they also do a really good job pointing out, which I was going to bring up anyways if we got on the subject, and here we are, but they kind of beat me to the punch. Like I feel like with a lot of these things, they happen a lot more frequently than we realize. Maybe not as bad and massive as Ohio, but I feel like these things happen pretty frequently. We just don't hear them in the news cycles. Yep. Right. So I feel like that has something to do with it. But as far as like the actual objects in the air go, dude, I have no idea. I feel like they know where it's coming from regardless. Maybe, whether it's outside the planet or another country sending some type of tech over to screw with us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was watching those interviews after the big UFO briefing yesterday, and some of the shit the senators were saying is like, what? Like John Kennedy at the end of his, he was like, just lock your doors tonight.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Even if you're low-key joking, you have an entire country that wants to know what in the fuck is going on.
Right.
You're gonna like tongue-in-cheek these little like, haha, the aliens are coming, blah blah blah. Then I saw another one where they talked about they said there's hundreds or thousands of these in our airspace that they know of.
What?
And
since when?
That's, I don't know, but like
of these like balloon things or these whatever unknown, they've been recently shooting down.
Unknown crafts, I'm assuming. The only thing that's different is that they've started shooting them down.
Yeah, that's true.
What this week changed to make them start shooting them down?
Man, I did have a weird thought the other day, and I'm going to try to piece it back together here live, which is probably not smart, but I don't know if a lot of people in here listen to Rogan or not, or if you even listen to Rogan, but he had Graham Hancock on, and that other dude, I can't remember the guy's name, but they were talking about the ancient apocalypse stuff, right? And then the other dude brought up how for the past 10 years they've been working on this new technology that uses like frequency / vibration or whatever, and that they're able to make like cars and stuff out of this shit, right? And he's like, I'm only able to tell you this because we are getting ready to just like come out with this technology officially. It's been on the low for years and years and years. So in my head, it made me low key wonder, like, what if this is like the big announcement of that tech?
They're making a whole big scene.
I mean, it would definitely sell.
Yeah.
But I also think that whoever they were working with, I believe it was something, could have been Toyota or something. I'm not 100% sure who was helping them with all that stuff. I could be wrong though. I don't quote me on that shit. But I don't know. I just, whatever's going on in our skies is definitely bizarre to say the least. And of course, a lot of us want to jump to the alien train.
It's just so wishy-washy. Like they shot all these things down and then they can't recover them. Like what in the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean
That's a
can't recover
lie.
them?
Come on. You know that's a
Shut
lie.
up.
That is a lie.
Ignorant.
But then you had the supposed what was the one over Alaska where it messed with the F-22's radar system, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's considered like an act of war, essentially. Like, all right, well now it's go time.
Yeah, they said, I was reading different little blurbs on that Alaskan one, that not only they said it interfered with their radar systems. They said it was also had no sign of propulsion and it was moving against the wind streams. So it was not just floating. It was not just floating as a balloon.
Right.
And I mean, essentially these things are in our commercial airspace. So if a passenger plane were to come in contact with one of those, that could be catastrophic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird, the whole way it played out, the whole way they went about it. Like they spent essentially like 72 hours shooting all these things and then they just stopped. Telling me they're all gone now.
Highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
And then what was it? I was going to bring something else up in regards to that too, but I can't quite remember now. I'm having a brain fart.
People in the chat are saying the other ancient alien guys is Randall Carlson. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name either. Fantastic set of guys there with a lot of information.
Yeah, active jamming of radar is an act of war.
That's what I thought.
Interesting.
That's what I thought. Very. Oh, I liked the theory that somebody popped out there too. It could be somebody, which the technology alone is an enigma, and regardless of said technology, where it's coming from, they were like, it almost appears like somebody or something is testing the response time of our fighter pilots.
I heard that too.
And I was like, ooh, that's actually a pretty decent theory right there. Regardless of where or what it is, like it makes sense.
It's weird. Makes me wonder what they're ramping up for.
It's weird, and I see a lot of. Already seen the comments in there that the Epstein file got dropped.
Yeah, I saw that too. I also saw that they're pulling a lot of U.S. embassy people or citizens that are in Russia. They were pulling them out this week too, trying to bring people back.
The United States was pulling them out.
Yeah,
that's weird. I mean, I've seen a lot of people discuss the possibility that like the official kickoff of World War III, which is always disheartening.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot on social media. That's kind of the big go-to, is that whoever's behind this is going to kick off some sort of conflict.
I don't know. It's absolutely bizarre. I don't know what to think of it. There's not for me. There's just not enough information
And
to.
they're being so weird about it. Just the way they're going about it. Everything's all hush hush, but they'll keep taking these little jabs, tongue in cheek jabs about shit. It's like, just tell us.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's one thing that they don't like to do. They don't like to be honest.
Yeah, it can't be any worse than the conclusions we're coming to on our own. You know,
Right. Change of pace. What did all of you, and B, Steve, what did you think about the Bigfoot picture that we received, or possible Bigfoot picture?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I feel like it's a really decent one, man. Personally,
he's a thick boy.
Yeah, or whatever it is, whatever is walking through the woods there. Because
Yeah.
I read a comment that said it looked like a downed tree, and the foliage was. I'm like, no, there's no way. And in my head, there's no way that makes sense. It's not just because like that's my job, like I deal with trees all the time, but I even showed it to my coworker, and he's like, dude, it is definitely, regardless of whatever it is, it's definitely something walking through the woods there. Like that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and I posted on Reddit and it blew up. It was like 300 comments on that thing.
Dude, I saw the email just bling, 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 bling. I'm like, holy moly.
People were, they're all over the place. Some people thought it was a dog man. Some people thought it was a guy in a ghillie suit. People complained about the quality of the photo. Like, listen,
which is,
if we could get Bigfoot to go to Sears, if Sears was still a thing, and do a photo shoot and get some of those real glamour shots, we could get Bigfoot glamour shots.
There you go.
We can get him to hold still and take high quality, high res photos. I feel like people would, as opposed to just going through their trail camera and being like, man, that doesn't look right.
Right.
Maybe I'll share it.
Right. And I mean, it could 100% be, I mean, for all I know, it could be a cutout of something that somebody dropped back there. You know what I mean? I have no idea. But by first glance, it looks like something walking through the woods. Whatever it is, it looks like something walking through the woods.
Yeah. I wish there was more photos of it, because that's what people are asking for. Well, if it's a trail cam, where's the next series of photos?
Well, yeah, obviously, but we don't have the trail cam.
I know. I'm like, that's not even my fucking picture. People send it to the goddamn phone. What do you want to do?
That's where I'm at. And they're like, the owner needs to go back out there and size comparison. And I'm like, what is this? I can't go out there. I don't know what you're talking about.
The owner needs to set up a live trap, capture it,
right,
take pictures of it, release it. That way, people on the internet can see it.
Right, naturally.
Modern solutions to modern problems.
Right. It just doesn't. It's like, come on. Like, I understand your line of thought. I do, but that's not reality, ladies and gentlemen. Because the person, I don't know. It's a bit long story. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to. But there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I can't get any more pictures unless they want more pictures to come out. Like, it is what it is, And then in this field, like when it comes to the Faye picture that I posted on Instagram, the gentleman at first contemplated not letting the picture get out. He was just like, I don't know that I'm ready for this picture to come out. I want you guys to see it. So here it is, but I don't know that I'm ready for this to be put out there. And I just told him, I said, hey, I completely understand. I respect that. If by chance you decide to change your mind, please let me know. I'd love to hear what people think. You could stay 100% anonymous. And he was a caller on, I think it was the first night shift, but I don't remember.
Yeah, he was. Also, people said it doesn't look like it was from a trail cam. I'm thinking they probably pulled their SD card from their trail cam, put it in their computer, pulled the picture up on the computer, and probably took a shot of it with their cell phone so they could send it to our cell phone.
It very well could have been. Very well could have been. And I don't know. I don't know the setup either, because the way I read it is it made it sound like the camera was inside a blind, but it might not have been. I don't know. You know, it could, for all I know, it could have been a live feed camera that they had set up. I have no idea. All I got told was like, this is from a trail cam from a hunting blind down in southern Georgia. You're like, all right, cool, that's awesome, thank you. I didn't think to ask, was it this or that or this camera? I was just like, oh, that's awesome. Can we post it if you don't mind? And then we went from there.
Oh, what else? I did see, not to change the subject, but I'm reading through the chat here. I did see that helicopter fall from the sky in somewhere down south. I can't remember. Alabama or somewhere. It was terrifying.
Was there any reported reason? Or are they not, is it unclear as of right now? Or
they said it was a military helicopter.
Yeah,
the video I saw just looked like it just dropped.
No kidding.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
Yeah, R.I.P. to whoever was on that, because I'm pretty sure they did not make it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that nobody made it out alive on that one, from what I'm hearing.
That was rough.
Which is unfortunate. I did. One of the guys on Instagram, his name's Chris, but he sent me, which I didn't realize it was that gnarly, but he sent me a picture from, I assume, the space station of the Ohio train cloud. Holy smokes, is it way bigger and gnarlier than I thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shit's nasty.
I knew it was bad, but I did not realize it was that bad.
That vinyl chloride's not good stuff.
No,
I heard it's killing fish and chickens and cattle up to 100 miles away.
Yeah, and they were supposedly testing air quality, but they said the air quality's fine. They're like, oh yeah, it's.
Of course they're gonna say that.
We're straight. And I know that, I don't remember if it was a senator or a public health official, or a firefighter, I don't know. Somebody of authority down in that area suggested that everybody in that area go get health tests now.
I saw that on the old TikTok.
Yeah.
As well. Get a baseline test to see what happens.
Yep. Which is just terrifying.
I'm pretty sure that's why they gave me a physical at my job when I started.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Because I can only assume that they are potentially looking for. Yes.
We do lung.
Fingers crossed this guy has precursors or whatever.
We do lung tests every year, breathing tests. So
that is crazy. That's crazy.
That is cool.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
It'll be fine. At least when I'm in the buildings and I'm breathing nothing but coke dust, it fills my mustache in really, really cool.
Nice.
So
it's kind of really tough. Like Rogaine, essentially.
Yeah. Just for men, cancer style.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. That's the brand I was looking for. Just for men. Imagine what it would do to my hair.
Oh yeah. The guy that I trained, Jordan, shaves his head and he'll take his hard hat off and it'll look like you have a full head of hair.
Man, I bet that's gnarly on his pores.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, but that's circling back around, that's a bad deal going on in Ohio. What in the world?
Absolutely.
I heard that they control burned it, but I also saw videos of the train being on fire before it derailed. There were sparks and flames coming from the bottom of one of the rail cars.
That's supposedly what caused it to derail.
And then they're just
was a bad axle.
Let's just set it up. Yeah, it'd be fine. It's easier to control if it's in the atmosphere.
Did you know it came out of Madison?
Really?
Yeah. It came out of Madison, Illinois.
That's where my plant is. They probably hauled shit from my work.
Might have. But yeah, I found
it's all coming together now.
I think it was today. Me and the guy I work with was talking about it, and He's like, shit, that came out of Madison. I was like, no way. And he's like, yep, came out of Madison and headed that way. I think it was going to Pennsylvania, if I remember right. I could be wrong, but yeah, it was. I just read that it was Norfolk Southern or Norfolk, and
That checks out.
I had heard that they were already making extremely large donations to a lot of the people and organizations in that immediate area.
That checks out.
Like they've already spent well over $1 million trying to save face.
There's so much pollution at our plant that you can like watch. You watch the radar and the rain will come in and it'll go just move around it.
That's ridiculous.
It's fine.
I don't know.
Fine. You even gotta worry
Trying to think of some other weird shit going on. I'm currently learning about left and right hand paths.
Hell yeah.
Been writing an episode on that. So I'm sure that'll
be interesting.
Warrant some pretty interesting conversation. Very interesting information in regards to looking into that type of stuff.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. And I figured we could talk about old boy, from TikTok and stuff like that.
I tried to contact him multiple times.
Yeah, nothing we can do. It just is what it is there.
He probably could.
Yeah, like in reading a lot of the text that I've been reading, it suggests either he is very knowledgeable in the subject or he read the same material that I'm reading, because a lot of what he's saying is in these texts that I'm finding about the left-hand path.
Isn't it weird that back in November he was like, get ready. And now like everything is just exponentially
chaos,
went to shit.
Right. And now that whole situation was just weird, man. I'm excited I'll be excited to tell that story in its entirety, in regards to that night when you and me were sitting down, having that conversation, and there's the unfortunate synchronicities that kind of transpired that night. It was interesting, to say the least.
It was a strange
definitely
night.
It was weird, but I'm excited to talk about it. That's probably going to be my next episode, if I had to guess. Okay. But I just got a nice lead on this other alien story that I'm probably going to start chasing here pretty quick too. So,
you say alien story?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done a good alien story in a while.
We got a UFO crash dropping Monday, which should be cool.
Yeah. I just read that comment too. I was like, gosh dang it. My wife's going to be so stoked. My wife loves my hair, and I constantly want to cut it, and she gets so mad at me. She's like, do not cut it off. I'm like, but I hate it. It's too poofy.
Silver fox.
It's too poofy.
Mine's getting out of control, bro.
Yeah, I've told Steve forever that he needs to just keep growing that thing out.
I'm going to. I got to get Matt Moneymaker here. Then
you should definitely keep growing it out.
Yeah, I'm going to. Me and a guy at work is having a competition to see who doesn't cut their hair first.
Nice.
Little does he know.
I was going to say, he's probably severely outmatched at this point.
Yeah. Remember when I had like early 2000s butt rock hair 2 years ago?
Oh, Skibs, my guy. Been there, done that, my friend.
Yeah, you're about 12 years too late on that one.
Yeah, been there, done that. That was a good time.
That was. We were wild.
It was a different time. It was a fun time.
The hair is like a helmet. That's true. It's like Lego clip-on hair. Is what it's like.
Oh, fair, fair. I like that. Like that oddly makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah,
That makes a
it
lot of
is.
sense to me.
It is. I'm just gonna keep growing it until we find Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Or
that's
until
a fair. Oh gosh, dang it!
I'm gonna get
Trying to show
mistaken for a Bigfoot.
Dylan said it, but look, Dilmo.
Just screams mullet. That's back when we were in a metal band, way back in the day.
Yeah,
Shout out to our younger selves.
right, no doubt. I was thinking about this the other day, and I realize it's circumstantial, but I asked myself, like if all of it's true, what kind of spirit do you think you'll be, Steve?
What kind of what?
Like what kind of spirit do you think you'll be?
What kind of
And
spirit do I think I'll be?
yeah, like when you pass.
Oh shit.
I know. It was a deep thought I had the other day where I was just kind of like, man, I
Well,
think
I
I'm
don't
going to be
know.
fucking pissed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll
I
probably
don't think
just
that I'm going to be very happy about it.
I'll probably just pretend like I'm not. I'll just keep trucking like I'm alive. Except
Just
not do
deny it.
yeah,
I'll just
just
live
not
in
do
denial.
shit I don't like. Like I just won't go to work. Be like, hey.
Right. Right. You try to have a conversation with me and I can't hear you. And you're like, yep, typical Kyle. Just never fucking paying attention.
Maybe I'll be like Beetlejuice and just be an exorcist for the living.
There you go.
Help out all my dead friends. I'll probably like low key just kick it and keep an eye on my family for a while, make sure everybody's good.
Yeah.
And then just go do otherworldly shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking about it the other day because I think during lunch at work, the guy was watching a Netflix documentary on near death experiences. And this poor lady talked about when she had a near death experience, these beings told her that her son was going to pass, and she thought by all accounts, it was going to be prior to his 18th birthday. Well, it was like shortly after his 18th birthday, he got into, I think, a car accident or something like that, and passed, and she remembers asking the entities like, why my son? And they gave her some, and in my opinion, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but in my opinion, it's a piss ass excuse. They just said, from basically that cheese ass line, like, from all tragedy, beauty comes. And I'm like, yeah, right. Not when it's your kid. Like, not when it's your kid. That's my personal opinion. Like, there's nothing out there that's gonna justify any of that shit to me. That's just not gonna happen. And that's why I I feel like, unless I'm old and grayer than what I am now, like, I don't think I'm going to be very, very excited about kicking the can. Like, I feel like I'm probably going to be pretty bitter about it.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go.
Well, no.
I still want to kick it. Kick it.
I told everybody. I told everybody when I was having all my issues that I better at least get another 10. I gotta have at least another 10.
I'm watching my kids grow up.
Yeah.
Watch them get older. Oh, let's see what's going on in the chat. We're almost at 30. Oh, we are at 30 minutes. Woo.
I think I'm just going to call this person back because they have not stopped calling for 30 minutes. 26 missed calls.
The same person?
The same person.
Wow.
Has been calling for 30 minutes straight.
Wow.
Almost like legitimately.
Okay, listen.
So regardless, I'm just going to call this person back. I don't care.
So whenever we start taking calls, we'll post the number.
Yeah.
Right down here at the bottom. You can just kick it.
I did not realize it's been 26 times.
Calls.
That's insanity.
Somebody's got something important.
They're dedicated.
Important to say. It's probably the damn CIA.
Well, I hope so. I hope they have some pretty interesting information for us.
My hair's got its own gravitational pull. I'm going to use it as a alien balloon deterrent.
Good. It probably can cloak too. At this point,
it can.
It's like having an octopus on your head.
Yeah.
You just really color change into everything.
Yeah. You get the Coke dust gets in there and it goes from brown just to like the same color as his hat.
Yeah. It reminds me of like one of them, which I've been on a kick of them here lately, them Hostess cupcakes. Your head just turned into a Hostess cupcake.
Sometimes my
head
can
blend right in the snack aisle.
Hostess cupcake. Damn, 107.
I like.
What did we have last week? 125.
I don't remember. I don't know that we're gonna
get in there, Holocult. Getting there.
I don't know that we're gonna. I don't think we're gonna do that tonight.
Oh, Kyle. Not with an attitude that.
I know. I've been a pessimist here lately. I need to quit.
You need to buck up.
It's
Cheer
hard.
up, bud.
It's hard. It's hard.
Take off the hat and do the rest of the show in a devil's lock. I have kind of a natural widow peak, sort of. But
that's not even fair. I posted a picture. My wife posted a picture in Discord, and I got called emo, and it was a devil lock. my devil's lock used to be long as shit.
Yeah.
I used to be able to touch my Adam's apple with it. Come all the way down, hold it to my chin, and touch my Adam's apple.
Oh man, what would?
And that's what I had, and Steve had a mullet.
Yeah.
So we were like, we were like reverse of each other. Yeah, it was on purpose.
I purposely had a mullet by choice.
Yeah, it was Birdie who called me emo. Now he's apologizing.
I wonder what 2008, 2009, 2010 Kyle and Steve, 2003 Kyle and Steve would think of 2023 Kyle and Steve.
Oh, I know exactly what they would say.
Look at you, old turds.
You know exactly what they would say. They would say, you guys are fucking losers. You guys are fucking nerds.
When's the last time you played guitar, nerd? You're still the old guy at the metal show standing there with your arms crossed, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
that's what happens.
That's what I become.
And then be like, joke's on you because you can't hear shit anyways, bud.
Yeah, that's a fact. Oh, we got questions. Let's go through some questions in the chat. Estimated time on the grand opening, Kyle's OnlyFans.
I don't know. It's still a work in progress.
What were we all like in high school?
Probably. I don't know. Like I say, we were assholes, but not to people that was cool with us. And we were pretty easy, in my opinion. We were pretty easy to get along with.
We were in the. It's weird because me and Kyle, when we were in high school, I'm a little bit older than Kyle. We ran in the same circles, but for a long time we just kind of rotated around one another.
Yeah.
Until we got out of high school, and then we started kicking it. So,
I think I know exactly what. Like one of the first times we officially met. That was interesting, to say the least.
Was that when you were at Byron's house wearing a Rasta wig?
Oh, there was
skating on a gasoline covered on fire skateboard rail.
Yeah, totally did that. But then there was also Pizza Hut. That was Pizza Hut brought us together as well.
That's where everybody hung out. Everybody either worked at Pizza Hut or like Dairy Queen or Sonic in Jerseyville. That's where everybody worked.
Yeah, I can remember skipping lunch at the high school and doing deliveries with Brandon.
Yeah, I remember skipping work. Like I was supposed to be making pizzas that he was delivering, and I would just go on delivery for him. No, like I'm not making any more pizzas. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, it was awesome. I used to ride around with him in his Dakota, and he would give me unlimited breadsticks. So I was stoked.
Yeah. it was interesting because like it's weird that we didn't hang out in high school, but after we still hung out with like each other. We had these, Dylan's in here. We had these massive prank wars that went on between everybody. It was terrible.
Those are some stories there.
It was terrible.
Those are some stories.
Culminated in somebody taking a deer carcass off the road, sawing the head off of it, putting it on our smoker, dousing it in gasoline, setting it on fire.
Yeah, I wasn't a part of that one.
So
we retaliated against you guys because you threw a snack pack and an egg at Josh's car. And then me and Josh went and spent hundreds of dollars at Walmart and covered Brandon's S10.
Everybody was a target at that point.
Yeah, Brandon. I remember Brandon going, it was just a snack pack and an egg.
Oh, we went off course here. You guys are asking about old times.
I know. It's hard not to get reminiscent.
We were just a couple of metalheads.
Pretty short.
Punk rock kids.
Josh was prepared to buy live lobsters and put them in Brandon's car.
I remember that.
Yeah. I was like, no, that's probably not a good idea.
Anyways, was gonna sneak into our house and tie all our furniture together and then run it to the back of Brandon's S10. That way, when he went to work, he drug all our furniture through the front door.
That'd have been awesome.
That would have been awesome, but didn't get to that point.
Yeah.
But as far as high school, we were just a couple punk rock metal kids.
Yeah, we had a good time. That's all that matters. And it all brought us to this point in life.
Now we're just a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, because back then, everybody else, we were always into heavy metal and all that shit. But like me and Steve would find these little grooves of time where Steve would be like, man, I read this book. Have you heard about this yet? And then he'd tell me a weird alien story. Then I'd be like, dude, I heard about this crazy ass conspiracy that's going on. And that's what we would do. Like whenever we got new little tidbits of information, we would just feed it to each other.
We would hang out in my apartment when we were living in Brookshire. We'd hang out and listen to Art Bell super late.
Yeah.
Now here we are.
Yeah, here
little
we are
baby bells.
Right. Oh man. Well,
let's see here. We can open the phone though, but I mean, if you want to call,
I'm definitely going to call homie back.
I also want to apologize to anyone that came to any of our metal shows and got hit with my guitar when I threw it into the crowd.
Yeah, that happened more than once.
Hey,
all right, so this will be a first. Night Shift is going to be calling someone.
Oh, we're.
I'm gonna take it upon myself to call them back. Right. Wait, is that the number?
Now you're gonna be calling people you don't know.
I know. Well, it's just what it is, man. Is that the same one? Yeah, that's the same one.
I coated someone's car in shit tons of Vaseline. It was so bad they had to tow it to get clean. We did that, but with lard, which also repels water, interestingly enough.
And freezes when it's really cold.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
You know who this is?
Hollow Sky.
Yes, it is.
Surprise.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I seen you've been calling a little bit.
Well, I don't know how the whole live podcast thing works.
No, it's not a worry. I just saw that you called a whole bunch, and I'm like, all right, I'm calling this person back because they are dedicated tonight, and we are going to hear what they have to say.
So I wrote in a year ago about my Michael story.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might have remembered that.
Yeah, so I had a weird dream about Michael, and then I the Bledsoe story.
Okay.
I do remember this.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I met the same Michael that the Bledsoes met.
Really?
I know that sounds so crazy. I would never tell anybody that I know, hey, I met an alien or an angel or,
So did it talk to you?
Oh yeah. So so do you want me to tell the whole story?
Well, you might as well at this point. Now I'm
Okay.
interested.
Okay. So 10 years ago, I had a dream. And I met a man named Michael. But then when I heard the Bledsoe story and he said Michael, yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't know. It makes me sound crazy, but I don't know. I'm so nervous.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Don't be nervous.
And I know exactly how you feel whenever you say it makes you feel crazy. I've been there. Like I've literally had this conversation, the exact same conversation with Steve, not in regards to Michael, but in regards to being like, dude, I know what's getting ready to come out of my mouth sounds completely insane. I know that.
Yeah.
Because when I sit here and tell it to myself, I feel like I'm crazy, but I know that I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. So we can talk about it.
Okay, so 10 years ago, I was married to a man. We had a pretty bad relationship, and then I had a dream. And in the dream, he told me all this stuff about Lyme. He said, you'll have a tick bite, you'll have a fall downstairs, and you'll have a bad cold. And all of that came true. And I can't explain it. But I found all these podcasts, all these people.
It could be the world, the strange pointing you in a direction.
And I don't know. And people have said, well, aliens. People have said, Archangel Michael. I don't know. But when the Bledsoes, he said Michael, and I freaked out. I just don't know. I don't know.
No, I completely understand. And I had a similar experience, not in regards to Michael, but in regards to certain things happening to me. And I did two things because there's two people that I wanted to talk to. I wanted to talk to Steve and I wanted to talk to Tony Merkel. And I remember calling Tony one night and I'm like, yo, dude, I gotta talk to you about this. And I did it because Tony is way more on the religious side than what Steve is. Right.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I got Tony's opinion about what happened, what it was. And he's like, dude, he's like, legitimately, Kyle, I think, whether you 100% believe in Jesus Christ and all of that, I think because you used his name that night to help protect your son, I think the Holy Ghost entered your room and entered you to let you know it's here. Like, it's answering what you asked. It's doing what you asked it to do. Right. And I'm forever appreciative of him and even that advice and that phone call. And I talked to Steve about it, because Steve is a little more skeptical when it comes to that stuff, and I told Steve about it and he's like, man, that's like, it always strikes me a little bit harder whenever I explain some of these things to Steve, because usually in these encounters that we'll have, we're normally each other's anchor, because at that particular time I'm going all in as like this paranormal thing. And usually Steve will be my anchor. He'll be, all right, well, let's look at it from this angle, because I'm so wrapped up in that story that I don't get to see the outside perspective, whereas Steve's not personally involved in that story. So he gets to see from a different angle. And it always hits me harder when Steve's like, I don't know, dude, that's weird. Like that is really hard to explain. Like I can't come up with logical explanations to that. And at the end of the day, like, here would be my advice for you. because I don't have enough details. And it sounds like you've given out plenty of details about your situation. I would go with what your gut says. And I know it sounds simplistic and almost dismissive to a way, but like in my little journey here, I have decided to, and I know everybody has their opinion and they're going to be like, well, this is dangerous. You know, you should be careful. But I kind of just let what appeals to me appeal to me, and kind of like, almost like in a way, what's meant to be will expose itself to me and show me, give me these little bits of breadcrumb to follow. You know, I still have to find the answer myself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's almost like letting your spirit take the wheel, you know, and guide you in that path. That's what I've been doing.
Okay. So my question is, I feel like back in 2012, I had this dream, and it portrayed everything that has led up to this moment. And now I'm in this moment, but now what? You know, like, why was an entity, an alien, an archangel, why was this entity showing me this moment, and now I don't know what's going to happen, you know? And I feel like a lunatic. I can't tell anybody. I'm like, oh yeah, somebody told me in a dream, blah, blah, blah. But what is it leading up to, you know?
Maybe it'll be back.
Why are we here? Why lead me up to this moment? You know, why lead anybody up to this moment? And I feel like in this moment, I have found so many more people that I can connect to, that I find on podcast or whatever. Why are we all connecting right now? What is this moment that I found 10 years ago in a dream, you know, that I sound like a lunatic talking about? But what are we doing right now? What is right now? What is happening?
I think you asked the questions that we're all asking.
I do too, and it's just strange to me that I was led to this question 10 years ago, but now we're all asking the same question. Why now? What are we all doing? What is happening? You know, I don't know.
And JJ here in the chat makes a good point. You know, they say, why not? Entities pop up to help you with faith and belief, to help you open up, you know, and like, that's like, I know it sounds crazy, but like, you know, that night with my son, whenever I feared for him and I was relating to him, and I'm not a big religious person. I'm just not. I haven't really ever been, but I use what I know, and I use what he kind of halfway understood. And I felt like it answered me that night. I mean, on everything that I am, I felt like I really, truly feel like it answered me that night. Like, hey, and whether it was, you know, the said Jesus Christ in this, or if it was just some other divine entity, whatever label you want to put on it, I don't care what you name it. But I feel like it, and it's almost like what you're saying, how it's hard to explain. Like, it's really hard and difficult to explain for me, but like I think it's just supposed to set you on the path. Like, you're like you said, you're on a path, you're walking in this direction. You don't know why, but it's just because it hasn't appeared to you yet, in my opinion. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong, but like, I just kind of feel like,
Yeah.
like it in time answer, you know, and then could it have been back then at that time you needed guidance? You know, you said you had a rough marriage, you know, was it something popping into your life to show you like, hey, there are better things out here. Hey, like we you know, there are things in play here that are here to protect you, and it could be a whole plethora.
My bigger question is, why did the entity that presented himself to me present himself as Michael, and then the Bledsoe story, he said he meant an entity named Michael? I don't understand. Like, who is Michael? That's my question. Who is Michael? Who is this entity? And that's why I felt so connected to the Bledsoe story. You know, who is Michael? That's like my legit question. Who is Michael?
I mean, that's a fair question.
Is that an alien? Is that like some? And I never thought anything of it until I heard the Bledsoe say Michael, and then I freaked the fuck out. Who's Michael? Who's Michael? Is this a bigger thing? Is this like I that's where I get totally freaked out. Who is Michael? I had a dream about Michael, and then the Bledsoes say Michael, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely a bizarre set of circumstances, you know, regardless.
It's so strange. And I don't know, and I'm trying to find answers. I don't know who's Michael.
Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I can't even, I don't even begin to pretend to have the answers. Is it something extraterrestrial? Is it something metaphysical? Is it something spiritual? I don't know, but I mean, it's
I don't know. I don't know.
clearly
And you guys
connected.
had said that you guys had said that you thought that maybe it wasn't a good thing. I don't know. I don't know. Who's Michael? That's my only question. Who is Michael?
It is.
I mean,
weird.
I wish I had an answer for you. I truly do. And you know, and in regards to the Bledsoe case, I mean, that is a whole thing on its own, and it doesn't necessarily mean that Michael in his case was a bad thing. The ones that we were referring to as bad was more of the possibility of being bad, were the original ones that abducted him, and then the possibility of this lady, you know, because it just the vibes we got, you know, it's a big long story, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Michael was bad. And you know, when you say Michael, initially my brain goes to the archangel. And that's just where my brain goes.
Well, and I reached out to Bledsoe, and he said archangel. But then I didn't know if it was an alien or an angel, and I'm so lost. How did this person, Michael, tell me my whole future for 10 years, and I don't know who it is? But then I find people on the internet that know Michael.
That's kind of the impasse that we ran into as well. Like, what are these entities? Are they angels? Are they spiritual? Are they extraterrestrial? Are they nefarious? The lines get so blurred. But I think as far as getting to this point, I hate the term like everybody's waking up because it's so overused and shit, but I think the veil is thinning. And I think we're getting closer and closer towards some sort of metaphysical, paranormal, like singularity where we're getting more and more of these answers. And I don't know.
I've heard a term recently. I've heard the term the quickening.
I actually saw that in the chat.
Yeah, more and more information. It's quicker, quick, more. You know, I think we we don't know what we're doing, but it's just so strange to me that I had this dream 10 years ago, and then all of it came true. And then I found you guys. I found more and more people. I found the Bledsoes, and I feel like I'm going crazy, but you know,
it sounds like you're right where you need to be.
God, I hope
it's
so.
It's pointed you to this point. Just trust the process.
Thank you guys for indulging me in my crazy.
It's not crazy to us. It's not crazy.
No, not even in the slightest sense.
We've all been in similar shoes. Trust me. But I think just trust the process. If it led you this far, here we are. I mean, it hasn't led you astray to this point.
Yeah.
I just keep an eye on keep an eye on things.
I'll keep listening. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah,
calling in.
for
I
sure.
wish I had more answers,
Oh.
but you know how it is. Everything's so
Nobody
wild.
has answers.
No.
Yeah, you guys keep it on.
Thank you. You too.
I'll keep
Stay
listening
safe.
for sure.
Much appreciated.
Thank you for indulging me. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, stay safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Man, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either, man.
I don't know what these entities are at this point.
No.
I feel like just like anything else, there's good ones, there's bad ones, and holophone.
Yeah, well, real quick before that, so I apologize to whoever is calling, but I wanted to bring this up because her call just reminded me of it. But you remember, I'm not even gonna say it yet. I'm gonna let you put the piece together. But somebody sent me a video on Instagram the other day. I start watching it, and it's what the supposed biblical ancient versions of aliens looked like. Okay. And they were very, very bizarre looking. One of them was like a Dyson sphere almost. And then one of them had these tentacles, if you will. And guess what was all over these things? All over them. Eyeballs.
Yeah, eyes. I was gonna say that, but then I thought you were gonna throw me a curveball.
No.
I'm like, I don't know.
But it made
Nordic runes.
No, I wish that'd be way cool. But what's crazy is the one call that we had on night shift about the tentacle with the eye poking in.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little weird, right?
It is weird.
A little weird. And that's why they said that's why the person sent that to me, because they were like, dude, I heard the eyeball tentacle thing and it instantly made me think of this. And so they shared the video with me and I'm like, whoa, fuck, that is weird.
Hey, you see this? Every time we talk about Bledsoe entity, or every time we talk about egress, something fucks up. Because my internet's been screwing up all night.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Yo.
Hi, is this Holophone?
Yes, it is.
Heck yeah, you guys are awesome. I'm a
thank
huge
you.
fan. I just started listening to y'all after you were on the Tony Merkel show. So
Awesome.
really, really digging y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to just have a couple stories, but something really weird just happened during that call that you had. And was it Gigi or JJ something had like, all of a sudden I have you from my phone to my TV, right? It's connected. And so all of a sudden I could see messages popped up and that just froze on my screen. So I tried to take a picture and it took 100 pictures just with one click.
What?
Like, yeah. I'm like, what the hell like, I will, if I can do like a screenshot on my phone, I'll send it to y'all. But I was like, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean?
That's
but
weird.
like it just like my phone just freaked totally out, and I was like, oh, that was weird, because it was something like that, like what was said. I was like something that I've been thinking about, and I was like, oh, I want to think about this later, So that was weird.
Very.
So the second thing I want to talk to you about is something. It's awesome that y'all have this podcast and have this Hollow Sky community cult that come together, and being able to give a place where people can feel free to talk about their strange experiences that happened to them. I thought I was just crazy for years, and then just hearing people talk about the stories, I'm like, all right, like there's something to this. And so I'm out here in Utah, so represent Utah. Hello. And I've had weird experiences happen to me my whole life. I actually started documenting all my crazy experiences, but one I wanted to share is something probably happened to me about 10 years ago. My husband now and I were dating, and we were living in this condo, and got home from work. I was like, yeah, husband's gone. I get to relax. Went outside, had a smoke. And my condo, I was on the second floor condo, and basically my patio looks to the building next to me. So there's enough room for like patios and a walkway and a little bit of grass. And all of a sudden I look up and I see this golden bronze, gigantic sphere in the sky. Like all of a sudden it was just there. And it looked ginormous, like at least a couple football fields in length, like huge. And I will never forget the color. And then all of a sudden, like, cause I have like, my smoke in my left hand and I'm looking off to my left, right? And it's in the sky. And then all of a sudden I did lose time. And I looked down at my watch, had a Mickey Mouse watch, looked down at my watch, and I had lost 10 minutes of time. And I looked back up because I was like, I know I saw that. And then I kind of like, what was weird is I forgot about it. Like my husband came home, made dinner, we did our couple things, didn't even say anything to him about it. And I didn't remember until like probably a year ago. And I was like, what the heck? And as I'm documenting things, more and more memories are coming to me. And I was like, what is that? Like, how did that just happen? Like, I know what I saw. I'm not crazy. I know what I saw. So that was a weird thing in Utah. It's tricky.
How close do you think this thing was whenever you saw it?
So, Utah, they have like a grid system. So if I were to estimate how far away it was away from me, I would probably say it was probably like 5 blocks away from me in the sky. But this thing, like, it looked like it entered the atmosphere. It was entering the atmosphere, and it was just there. And it was I could only see half of it.
That's didn't the UFO call last week also describe it kind of like a bronze in color?
Yes, that's why I wanted to call in and tell y'all.
Yeah, that is weird. And I can't remember if it was the same one, but they also reported forgetting about somebody that called in and reported about forgetting about the encounter until years later. That's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Freaking bizarre. So I have to tell you one other one that really tripped me out. Like I'll have to maybe get in touch with y'all and maybe get some messages too. But this one time, 4th of July was when aerials, because of the mountains and everything and it's dry, like aerials were banned in Utah for years. So the first one, I think it was the first year they came back, right? And my husband and my house, we were at my house, we were having a good time, couple of drinks. It was my husband and his best friend were lighting aerials off outside. And I was out there, and like there's helicopters in the sky looking at all big, huge fireworks. And there's like a soccer stadium down the street, like the cities do fireworks. Like there's fireworks just popping off left and right. And I see this thing, like this bright, like I was like, oh, is that a firework? Yeah, I wasn't drunk, but I wasn't like out of my mind, I was just having a good time. And all of a sudden, above coming from the west side over to the east side, this big giant fireball was in the sky, went like probably maybe like a bus length above my house. Like if you took a bus to the top of my house, and I have a 1-story house with a basement. So I don't know what that translates into. And I was like, I looked at my husband's best friend, and I was like, yo, dude, do you see that? And he's like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. And it like stopped, and it looked like it was a ball on fire. And then it went zoomed straight up into the mountains up to like where Snowbird would be. And I asked them about it later, and none of them could recall it.
Oh, that's weird.
They all legitimately got MIB'd at the end of that one.
Right? And I was like, dude, I know what I just saw. Like I was like, why are y'all freaking out? Like we just saw a fireball floating in the sky.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Is that
Anyways,
the same? Is that
those
the
are my
same
two
house
stories for
you?
y'all.
Is that the same house you live in with the bronze sphere?
No, so interesting enough, the condo, it was a condo that was when my husband and I first decided to live together. So that was God. I mean, I'm old. I'm not that old, but I'm old enough. So my husband and I got together about 20 years ago. And then we bought this house about 12 years ago. So, but interestingly enough, it is within like it's within general kind of the same area, but I live more on the west side than where my condo was.
Right on, right on. I was just curious how close it was. Sounds like a UFO hotspot for sure. Utah's weird, man. Utah's a weird
It does
state.
have a lot
Utah
going
is
on.
freaking weird. Like my husband and I once saw the moon disappear. Like there's some crazy stuff happening in Utah for sure.
That's awesome.
But anyways, love y'all. Just want to share my crazy Utah experience. Y'all are awesome. Keep it real. Just so you know, y'all make my day. I'm a project manager, and so I have a lot of work I got to do. And I put you all on every week and listen to you. How you guys help me get through my day. And when y'all are drinking monsters, I'm drinking monsters too. I was like, oh, they drink monster. So I sent you guys a little while ago, but I sent you guys some monster funds. I was like, heck yeah, let's have a monster.
Hell yeah.
Thank you very
Y'all
much.
keep it real.
You too. Stay safe and
Take
stay
care.
weird out there in Utah. Sounds like it's pretty wild.
Oh yeah, it is. All right. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you.
See
You
ya.
too.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the fireball. Reminds me of the Fatima experiment or experience, which is a correlation with Bledsoe there too. But
yeah, also weird. And I was thinking about all the, I don't know how much it's went around on social media, but on TikTok, there's been tons and tons and tons of videos of these metallic spheres all over the place.
Yeah,
Recently, probably within the last 3 months, just multiple videos of people catching these metallic spheres everywhere. That almost makes you wonder if that ties into the shit they've been shooting down over the United States.
I mean, at this point, why not?
It's bizarre.
You know what I mean? Why not?
Oh yeah.
I don't see
I
how.
apologize to any of the callers if I'm late on responding. My connection.
Oh
is
yeah, you're
trash.
a little laggy tonight.
Yeah, so I do apologize. Kyle will freeze up. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, you'll freeze on my screen for a second. I of course know what's happening. I understand a lot. I didn't even think about that the caller might take it as like we're just, because on that last one there, I saw you move. And I was like, all right, he's getting ready to say something, so I'll just stay quiet. I'm trying to read your body expression there, and then it might have froze at that perfect time where I didn't realize it, and here we both are just quiet as can be.
Freezing. It's froze on you in different facial expressions. So I'm like, oh man, Kyle's getting ready to pop off on something, and then it just stays there. And I'm like, shout out to Frontier Internet. Thanks for sucking.
This one says spam risk.
So I can answer.
Should I? All right, fuck it. What did I want? Hello?
No way.
What?
I actually got through this time. How's it going, guys?
Not bad. How you doing?
Not too bad. So I noticed the phone number came up from the States, but I'm up here in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So I can avoid charges.
Oh, damn.
Right on.
So you guys are talking about those weather bands. So we've been having a couple of them up here in Canada as well. And I don't know. I really don't think that they're sent from China, personally.
Really?
It almost seems like Like with them saying that it's U.S. technology or something like that that's in them, it kind of seems like it's more or less it's sent from the U.S. just to kind of with China. But I don't know. That's just me.
I think if they would have been sent, I feel like the first one that they shot down was probably from China, the spy balloon that everybody had pictures of with the like satellite looking shit on the end on the bottom of it. They had no problem pointing that out that it was a Chinese spy balloon. I feel like if the rest of them were, they would have lumped them in with that. So the fact that they're being quiet on the rest of these makes me real sus.
I think we just lost him.
I feel like he was in a gun range.
No, he was somewhere, dude.
It's probably some industrial work, steel mill.
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like he sounded like he was inside a big mill or something.
He was talking about from what I couldn't hardly hear him, but from what I gathered that they're having. He said he's from Canada and that they were having also encounters with whatever these are in our airspaces. Said he doesn't think that they're from China, which I agree with because, like I said,
that's a valid point too.
The first one that went down, they were right on the rip. They said this is a Chinese spy balloon, blah 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 blah, and then they just hushed up. They don't know where they're from. They can't identify them. They shoot them down. They can't recover the wreckage. This, that, and the other.
That one is weird. So the not being able to recover. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Yeah,
they would, regardless of where they thought it came from, they're getting that wreckage. They are.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the first one probably, and interestingly enough, is the one they had all the pictures of and everything, this, that, and the other. It's almost like, if you think about it, it's almost like that first one was to distract and prompt everyone to believe that these other ones were the same thing. Because look at how they reacted to this first one. They let it go all the way across the United States, made sure all major news media outlets covered it. And when it got all the way across the United States, then they're like, yeah, we're going to shoot it down now. Then these other ones started hitting, and they were pretty quick on the trigger to drop them.
That's true. I did think the same thing whenever they started tossing around weather balloon. I was just like, well, this is Roswell.
Trope. Get a new trope. You've been using this since the 40s. Do better. Do better, government. You nerds.
Do better. That is the slogan of slogans.
Just do
better.
But yeah,
so
that was awesome.
Just screams disappointment.
Shout out Canada. There's another Canada. Man, when you first answered that, I was like, what in the world are we listening to?
Oh, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I didn't know what we just got ourselves into.
I'm like, what? Strange Road. It's ticking across the ticker at the bottom there.
Yeah, as long as everybody can see that. I'm assuming so.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it too.
Yes, sir. I was just getting ready to do the same thing.
They got wreckage from everything they shot down. They will not reveal it. I'm United States Air Force, and they hide everything from the public. Yeah, that checks. That tracks right there. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, you'd think if they were pulling the whole China spy balloon card, they would have chalked up the other ones right off the rip. Since they already had a precursor, we've already got one here. We shot down. Now there's all these other ones.
Right. No, I agree. I think it's a good point.
The fact that the first one was in Alaska, the second one was in the fucking Yukon. Like, there's nothing. These places, there's nothing out there. They could have shot these things down, and chances of nobody seeing them are pretty fucking high. They didn't even say anything about it.
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I like what JJ in the comments said, like the veil's not closed. I just feel like there's so much unexplained chaos going on these past several years that it's just ridiculous. Like there's things that happen and you're like, that makes no sense at all. If you use logic, this makes zero sense whatsoever. Like them revealing off-world vehicles. That does not make sense.
Yeah. The veil is gone. That's probably more truth to that than we know.
Well, probably, which means it's gonna just keep getting fucking weirder. Which that's what we're here for. So I'm not gonna argue that.
Imagine if they were like peace gifts that the aliens sent to us, and the first thing we did is shut those some bitches down.
Here's a call from close to home. Hello?
Hey.
What's up?
Yo.
Oh, I wanted to tell you about my story that didn't make any sense either.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Well, I'm kind of a local guy. I actually was in Jerseyville the other day.
Yeah, I noticed the number I just said. I'm like, this is a close to home call here.
Well, I know Steve a little bit. I know him from artifact shows and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I've met Steve several times. My name's Justin. I don't know if he remembers me or not.
That's on Steve.
I grew up in Woodson, so the story I'm going to tell you happened in Jacksonville. So
okay.
Oh, right on.
Like November. I think I've sent the message to Steve, but telling it in person probably help a little better. But this happened. It was weird because the date, it was November 4th of 2020. It was election night, and me and my girlfriend at the time were just sitting watching TV, like watching the election. And she kind of has like a older house. It's got like 9-foot ceilings. It's like open concept. So you could kind of like see into the next room on the wall. And I was just sitting there watching TV, and there was not really anything going on, just Biden versus Trump stuff going on. And like a light on the opposite wall of the room, like probably 20 feet away, like drew my attention. So I looked over, and we're sitting on a L-shaped sectional, and there's a coffee table in front of us, and rising out of the table was like a softball sized sphere, and it had lights in a ring around it about the size of dimes, and like it was shooting out the lights like disco style in the ring, and it rotated slowly to like 2 feet above the table, and then made like a spinning top noise, like you remember like when you were kids, we had those like tops that would like they'd spin off, you'd like pump them up and they'd spin out. Made one of those noises and just disappeared right in front of us.
That is so fucking weird.
That is weird.
There's no explanation. None.
I have not ever heard anything like that at all. Ever.
It
Okay.
kind of reminds me of that guy who's on social media who's creating the portals with the sound waves.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of when he was describing it coming out of the coffee table.
I mean, that makes more sense than anything.
Well, I didn't see it right away. Like the lights caught my attention and drew me to it, and it rose and it like slowly picked up speed. And as it rose, it wasn't just like a slow spin. It like started picking up speed, and then when it got to like where it was stopped, it just spun into de-existence, I guess. I don't know how to say it. It was just unbelievable, and she saw it too. We were both within 2 feet of it, and we didn't say anything. Nothing got said for like 15 seconds, and she goes, "Did you just see that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, yeah, I just saw that. She goes, "Well, what was it?" I'm like, there's no explanation for it. She's like, "Well, is it one of those like ghost orb things?" Like, no, I don't think it was. It was metallic. It felt, I don't know. It didn't feel like a spirit by any means.
I'm at a fucking loss, dude. Especially if it like if it gave more of like a metal solid a vibe
It looked
to it.
metallic. It was like metallic in look, and it was about the size of a softball.
Like my brain was okay with like the assuming it's some type of spirit, and then you just re-broke it with the
No.
fact that it's like metal.
I
Well,
don't,
that sound, that sound was like a machine sound. It was like a gear, like turning on type of thing. Like it didn't start off with that sound. It like rose and didn't make a sound, and then as it picked up speed spinning, it made that sound, and that was like the end of it was just it just fell into itself type of thing.
Oh, so it like collapsed like a.
Well, I mean, it didn't like zoom off or anything. It just disappeared in front of us, like kind of as it spun up, it got really fast. So like you couldn't discern the like portal lights on the side, and it got super fast. So it just looked like a band. I mean, this all happened in a matter of maybe 8 to 10 seconds, maybe 15 tops. I mean, I don't know. It was very, very short period. It wasn't like a matter of minutes this happened. It was just a brief moment. And then it just disappeared into like itself type of thing. It didn't zoom off or anything. It just wasn't, it was there and then it wasn't there anymore.
It just like all I picture is the Millennium Falcon in my head right now. Like just the way like those spaceships like all of a sudden just hit hyperdrive and they just disappear. Like just boom, away they go.
Yeah, and that's what it was, but it didn't zoom off.
Right,
I mean,
right.
maybe it did it at an incredible speed, but the only thing I can explain to myself is it was something like interdimensional or something like that just like decided it was not supposed to be there, and it powered up and got the hell out of there. I don't know. It just how is something there one minute and not? It just, I don't know. And it had a metal feel. It had a machine feel.
Yeah, that's where my brain went to. Some kind of interdimension. I mean, fuck. For all we know, it could have been a UFO. You know, just hopping into our dimension and then popping right back out. Just like maybe it made a mistake, took a wrong turn, and he's like, "Oh shit, I ended up in this living room. Time to fucking get the hell out of here and take off." I don't know, bro. That's so weird.
And the night that it happened is just why it sticks out in my mind, and like I'll never forget the night, November 4th, 2020. Like we're sitting there staring at the Biden Trump thing, and it's like, I don't know, it's like we're under observation or something. Who knows? Like,
oh shit, I didn't even think of that route.
I don't know. It's just why else would that thing be there at that moment, like watching us or with us? You know, like I couldn't. I don't know. It's just like your brain goes every direction when you try to make sense of something that doesn't make sense.
Oh, I agree. Because my brain is
understatement of the
fucking
year.
broke.
It could be so, I don't know. You hear like the chats popping off over here. You hear in all sorts of different encounters those weird metallic noises and missing 411 encounters. You hear people reporting metallic sounds. We've heard metallic sounds linked to the Dogman encounters. I don't know. I don't have anything. It could been,
dude. I was in the middle of town, like 2 blocks from Duncan Park. So like, I mean, we were in old Jacksonville, like basically, like it wasn't. I mean, there was houses within 100 feet of us, 20 feet of us. Let's just say that, other houses. So it wasn't like I was out in the middle of the country or anything either.
Dude, Jacksonville's got some weird shit that's went on there over the years. I've got an entire book on the bookshelf back there. It's called Weird Jacksonville, and it's I might just do a show on it because some of the shit, like disappearances of people and all sorts of like just people walking into thin air and shit. It is something going on. Maybe that's linked up. Maybe there's a hole in the interdimensional wall there and people are just falling through it while these UFOs are coming through it.
I never even thought about that, but it's only like her house was only half a block off that Lafayette Street, and that's where like the ghost tour is.
It's could be a hot spot where they're at.
But her house was never like, I never got that vibe. I mean, I don't know. It never felt weird to me. Like it never gave me that vibe, and we never saw a ghost or anything like that.
No, it just has an interdimensional wormhole.
until the interdimensional UFO
There's
ended up in the living room.
There's just weird. Yeah, there's just weird stuff coming through there. As far as they're machines, it's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, just ignore the robots. This is the interdimensional robots. As long as
It'd be all right.
Right. I'm looking for some ghosts, dude. Like that's what I'm after. So who knows? Like, oh, anyway, I just thought that was Kyle. You said something, and I'm like, man, I got to talk about it because there's no explanation for that.
No.
There's just like you can rack your brain as hard as you want to rack it, and you can't like be like, oh, that's this, or like, oh, it's a weather balloon. No, there's not weather balloons in the middle of a coffee table in the living room.
Right. It was an interdimensional disco ball.
Right. Somebody was just looking for a party.
That's
it.
That's all it was. They were looking for the rave.
Right. They missed like one dimension.
Yeah.
So like,
damn, it went too far.
Right. So anyway, dude.
Partied ourselves into a different timeline.
Right. I mean, I just can't keep up with these things. So this stuff is weird. This stuff coming down, and like the fact that they're just like not telling us anything about it, and it's conflicting reports. It could just be the whole sidetrack to that whole Ohio thing, man. That's what they're talking like. So I think they're going to build us up really big and then give us big nothing burger. So I'm not too worried about it.
Nah, I'm pretty much in the same boat as for the time being.
So anyway, stay weird, guys.
Like,
I'll talk to you sometime at an artifact show. I'm sure, Steve.
Oh hell yeah! I made the connection now. The artifacts, they all lined up. I got you now.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll connect again, man.
Hell yeah! Stay safe
Awesome,
out there.
man.
If you find anything cool, shoot it my way.
All right, later, brother.
All right.
See you, man.
Later. That was awesome.
Took me a while to make the connections. I'm like, man, Justin, and then I made the connection.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I don't know what,
bro.
I don't know, man.
Gosh,
Jacksonville's
I don't
weird.
either, man.
Jacksonville's a weird place. Like, I don't know what it is about that town. Just a small town in the middle of Illinois, but there is some bizarre documented shit that comes out of there.
And Lafayette Street sounds familiar. I almost guarantee I have trimmed that street out.
Oh,
because I've trimmed Jacksonville several times.
Me and Dylan went up there one night. He went up to a car show, and I went with him, and we were eating it. I think it was at Applebee's or something up there. But there was a Lambo in the parking lot, and we were out there like right up on this Lamborghini, had all blacked out windows, and we were like goosenecking it and checking it out. Little did we know that somebody was in there, and as we're like leaning over the car, the dude just starts it up and drives away.
He's like, all right, get away from my car now.
Yeah, he's like, don't drool on my car. But I did pick up a book at Half Price Books called Weird Jacksonville, and it's got everything from like lost treasures to disappear. I got one of these missing people books on my true crime bookshelf, and I always look for ones close to our area. And one of them I read was a man that stayed in a hotel in Jacksonville in the 70s or 80s with his wife, and he essentially just walked into nothingness. I don't know if he'd went out to get a cup of coffee or what, but he never came back. There was no trace of him, no evidence, no nothing. And I think he was just passing through and just disappeared.
That's so weird. So I've had people send me videos on Instagram of, like, I'm sure you've seen them, where the news feeds are recording somebody, and then all of a sudden, just somebody just pop up, like just appears in the frame.
Yeah,
it's so weird. It is so weird.
And who's to say we don't just blip out of existence? You know?
Yeah. But right here, this I've worked here too. And I hate that place. It is the worst place ever to trim. It's a terrible place to trim.
Because it's full of interdimensional disco balls?
No, it's just a pain. A giant. I did see a groundhog drunk there one day, though. That was funny.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yep. Some drunk guy came out of his house and was like, "Hey, watch over there. There's a groundhog that comes out and gets drunk." And I'm like, well, "Whatever, dude."
What?
And sure as shit, it would come out and eat the fermented fruit that's on the ground. And he literally was walking like sideways, getting back to his little hole. I was like, "I'll be damned. There is a drunk groundhog here."
Welcome to Illinois, Hollow Cult. For all you out of towners,
Yes.
welcome to Illinois.
This is the best we got. That's the best we got.
This is it. This is as good as it gets. Drunken groundhogs. I see a lot of good puns over here in the chat about the interdimensional top disco ball. People were like, "Man, maybe it's Beyblade," and then someone's like, "Yeah, maybe Feyblade." That's money. Who said that?
That is good.
Too far back for me to look.
Yeah, the chat does tend to pop off. Oh,
yeah.
You want to take one more?
Chat's pretty solid. Yeah, why not?
Oh, we just missed it.
Womp
Dang
womp.
That might have been the dude from Strange Road.
Don't be scared.
They're from Ohio, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that was probably him.
Yeah, the chat was hammering. We had quite a bit of people in here. We didn't break the record. I think we had 125 last week, but we had about we had at least 111, 112 in here this week.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Yeah,
Hollow not Cult. Bad.
Kyle's disappointed, but
me?
Kyle thinks you can do better, Hollow Cult.
Oh, I know that we can do better. And that's in all fairness, that's always my mentality.
It is true. Kyle will never be satisfied.
No. I'll get to a point where I am. However, I'm extremely hard on myself.
I think we could have 5,000.
I'm extremely hard on us too.
Yeah, I think we could have 5,000 people in here, and you'd be like, you know what?
Nah, I don't know. 5,000 would be pretty impressive.
Would be legit. I don't even think 5,000 people listen to the show.
No, probably not. Probably not. I feel like I'd be pretty stoked with like 500 people.
It was Strange Road. He said, "I did just call in. Is it over? I'm baked. We're waiting for you, bud. We're if you got a story,
I tried hitting it, but I tried hitting it.
I am baked. If you want to call back, we got a couple more minutes. No pressure, though. Everyone in the chat's telling you to call back, but no pressure. Do better.
Yeah, that's right. Do better. Taking my catchphrase. My catchphrase of disappointment.
Everybody like the video, like the channel, follow and subscribe.
Yeah, I always forget to bring that up too.
Click the little bell button and it'll let you know when the next Hollow Night Shift. Yeah. Hollow Night Shift will be. Man, let's scroll through the chat a little bit. There's a bunch of people in here. Shout out to all of our content creator friends in here. Saw a little bit of everybody in here. Saw Eric from Uncomfortable.
The locals that are always popping in.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This might be him. I'm gonna answer it.
Right. Let's go.
Hello?
Yo,
what's going on?
What's up?
What's up, bros?
How's it going?
Man, I missed you guys. I figured, hell, why not? Let's chat here.
Might as well.
Hell yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, dude, I miss you guys. I'm hopping on. I don't think I got on the last one, but we're kind of fresh talking about some of this stuff today on our show. So yeah, it's a strange time, but how you guys doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, couldn't be better. Hell yeah. Well, you guys are talking about the Palestine, Ohio situation, and I know just as much as you guys do about what's kind of in the news and everything that's gone on with the burning of the chemicals, trying to clear it up. I mean, just asinine stuff. The corporations covering it up, in line with government officials. The Ohio EPA is one of the most corrupt institutions in the country. Specifically, for whatever reason, Ohio EPA, and this is something I had learned really in the last few years, is an instance in Waverly, Ohio. Waverly is the poorest county in Ohio. It's right on the arc of the Appalachia, just not a lot of opportunity. The big business that was there was the plutonium factory, which is where they made all the plutonium for the bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So that factory literally, essentially fed all the jobs in that entire county and the surrounding areas. And so that factory ended up closing down. And so essentially what it is a toxic waste dump. And it's been closed for years and years and years since the 1980s. So you have this super poor county in Ohio. You have these folks that have no opportunity. These factory closes down. There's no jobs. It's one of the most heroin, pills, just super, super sad. And it also just so happens to be some of the most concentrated ancient temples and earthworks in all of Ohio are right in this county too. So basically I worked as a camera operator on this documentary about the folks that were this family that was murdered execution style in Waverly, and it made national news. You guys may have heard about it. I don't know if you've heard about this story or not.
I don't think so.
Okay. So there's this entire family. There's multiple trailers, and it's kind of in this little trailer park. And these families were all rounded up, bound up, and murdered one by one, execution style. 11 people in all. This happened 4 years ago. Huge national story in Ohio. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm not watching the chat right now, but some people out there probably have heard about this. So they come to find out that it's this giant drug ring. They still really don't know exactly who exactly was involved. All this is still going on in courts. It's very hush hush. No one really talks about this case anymore. It's totally been swept right under the rug. So this documentary filmmaker from Cleveland essentially, hired my buddy Sam to do audio, and then brought me on with my camera and gear. And we would go out to Waverly to, he started, doing interviews with all these people. Then it turns into the director finds out about basically the plutonium factory is going to be converted into a toxic waste dump where all surrounding areas can bring their toxic waste and bury it essentially in the property of the plutonium factory. So the EPA, the corporations, all these folks get together and they have these big surveys done. Is it safe? If we turn this into a toxic waste dump, what's it going to do to the water tables? Are the rivers going to be safe? What's the bedrock underneath there for seepage? All this stuff. Okay, so they have these surveys done. Report comes out. Oh, this is great. Yeah, no problems here. Nothing to see here. Everything's super safe. And so the townspeople are like, hold on a second. All the folks in all the area, and they're just, wait, something's not right here. Something's fishy here. We really should have another look at this. And the construction companies are in bed. These big companies are in bed and basically on these town halls, you have the politicians, the Ohio EPA, where they get together and they tell all the town people, hey, it's okay. So she starts covering this. So this documentary turns into this documentary about a murder of these 11 people, drug related, into toxic waste dump, EPA, corruption, basically cooking these surveys, cooking the books. They find out that, they had to get a second company out to do, there's holes all in the bedrock. All of that water would have ended up in the Scioto River, the Ohio River, the Mississippi River, and exactly what's going on here with this chloride shit, getting into the water tables, killing all the animals around the area. They're not talking about that shit. And who's behind it? The Ohio EPA. It's like a Stranger Things situation, dude, with these institutions. They're protecting the big businesses. And by the subway in that little town, there's it's called the Plutonium Factory Workers Clinic. The goddamn plutonium industry has a medical facility that they pay for, where all the plutonium workers that now have bone cancer and all this other shit, like a high school stud varsity quarterback, went to play college football, within a year of graduating was dead. He lives 0.6 miles from the plutonium factory. Super rare bone cancer. This documentary, this producer starts finding out all this stuff, and they start having these town hall meetings. Enter me having to go and shoot these where the townspeople are just going nuts. There's this really weird guy that was like hovering around the production. He seen me and my camera, was like, oh, what's this guy doing? I'm going to go start talking to him. He just would not leave me alone. Fuck it, I'll say his name. I'm not going to say his last name. Jeffrey. If anybody's into earthworks in Ohio and has come across Facebook groups and this crazy motherfucker in there talking all kinds of shit, and he just stirs up trouble. I didn't know this then. I found out about this guy and who he was later. So, he basically like corners us in Subway when we're getting lunch. He starts talking our ear off, invites himself in to sit down and talk with us. Next thing you know, we're out at this ancient site. He's telling us all about this, the Waverly Grave, the grade, which is this earthwork. That's like exactly what it is. It's like a hill, like a ramp, and it was this processional ramp, and it's just right behind the Taco Bell. No sign, no like visitor center. It's literally, we parked in the freaking Taco Bell parking lot with this crazy guy. He's telling us all this stuff about the ancient sites. And so, years later, I find out he's an FBI informant.
Nice.
Oh.
He would not come out and do. He wouldn't come out and he's like, oh, don't come to my house and do. Because she's like, I want to come back and interview. I'm like, you need to stay away from this guy. He's out there. But he's like, oh no, I live in this Frank Lloyd Wright home out in the country that's got no running plumbing or electricity. Like, you wouldn't want to come to my house. And that was like a huge red flag. So, basically there's just like weird shit that goes on that nobody cares about these people down there. They could give two shits about the folks that are living in that area. That, like I said, the medical facility, they're just treating all these people with cancer in a hush-hush way where they can just pay for all of their treatment. And so that's what you're dealing with here in Ohio. I mean, it's why nothing will ever get figured out with this spill in Palestine. It's just sorry, I just went on a major rant there.
No, you're good.
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm just, I haven't talked about that in a long time. But yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, like, that's like a typical thing with these corporations and the government, and damn good and well, like you said, that nothing's gonna be done with all that. No, I mean,
No.
I've mentioned earlier, Norfolk is already going in there swinging and just handing out money hand over fist.
Right. That's what they do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Easily. And I was telling the guys at work. Yeah, I was trying to tell the guys at work. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised unless they have footage, but I wouldn't be surprised if, for liability reasons, you see a sabotage theory start surfacing in the near future, like they're trained with sabotage.
Course. Yeah.
That way they're not liable.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember when all those
Like,
murders
so there
happened.
Yeah. Okay.
And there was like no legit motive behind it. It was all like hush hush. And I'm like, well, that's a lot of people
Like
to
I
get
said,
executed for everybody not to be talking about it,
they still don't know, because my guess is there's some sort of corrupt politician that's somehow involved in the drug ring, because of course, if you have that many pills and that much heroin and that much shit flowing through just that little community, like somebody's getting paid.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's getting paid.
That was the
you know,
the Pike County massacre, right? The same one I'm thinking of.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
So Pike
I
County,
remember when that
I
happened.
couldn't think of
They
the
said it
county.
was like a spat over some derby cars or some shit. I'm like, are you kidding me?
No.
Like that's what we were getting
No.
on our end of the media.
No.
That's
And I'm
awesome.
like, get out of here with that.
This chick, this lady we were working for, she's done 5 PBS documentaries, national PBS documentaries. She's never ever had a situation where she goes to this little town to cover this, what she thinks is a pretty cut and dry, like we're gonna find out. She's a little pit bull too. She's like 5'2". She don't give a fuck, dude. She will just like walk up to anybody, grab an interview. Oh, you're gonna do this. You're gonna come over here and give us a sound. Like, damn, like she's got balls. All right, Mikey, come over here. We're gonna get this. You know, pop over here. Like, get up in there. She's like, I'm like, damn, girl. Like, this camera's big. I'm not just gonna, like, calm down. So she would just like, and she started pissing people off too, dude. She was like digging. My buddy Sam was in some seriously shady situations doing audio on this documentary, and you know it's like fucking hillbilly heroin everywhere.
Gotta be careful in them little backwood towns.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're right, and that's where, like, you know, they just the people have no power. So the plutonium industry, whether it's the railroad industry, whether it's whatever, you know, the Appalachian folks, you know, there's comparisons to the poverty levels that you see in inner cities. You know, we were talking to AI boys last night, and I know they've definitely heard of that story. But well, Appalachian Intelligence Boys on Monday, rather. But it's seething with corruption, basically.
We got some similar shit here in St. Louis where they buried a bunch of fucking uranium ore into the ground under this little tributary of the Missouri River, I think. And it's still polluted. And then they buried a bunch more next to the landfill in Bridgeton, and the fucking landfill caught on fire 12 to 15 years ago, and it's still burning today. And they're worried that it's going to make its way into the buried uranium ore, which is going to be a big disaster. And they're testing positive for uranium ore at elementary schools and shit along the tributary, along the creek. So
yeah,
it's just it's so, and that's, I don't know,
huge,
man. It's
ecological.
You say it out loud, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, these people are scumbags, you know, just not even trying to hide it. And it's just,
no,
it's ridiculous.
And like what you said earlier about these little podunk towns, it popped in my head. I'm like, also where people are easily influenced, where you can go, hey,
oh yeah,
what's it going to cost?
Oh yeah.
What's
man,
what's it going to cost? I'll give you money. You shut up, sign this NDA. Yep. I'll give you some money.
Yep. We'll give you $1,000.
And most
we'll give you $1,000 a month.
Okay.
We'll give you $1,000 a month. Sign this to where whatever happens to you, we're not responsible.
Yep.
Because that ain't nothing to a government.
It sucks.
Agency.
It sucks, especially in times like this, man. Everybody's broke. Everybody's hurting.
Yeah,
it sucks. It's a sad thing all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, the pills that started being, doctors were that area in Chillicothe, whether it's Chillicothe, Circleville, that's where it's just those communities down in Southern Ohio around Athens. It's just, that's where all the highways from the Oxycontin Express, I-75 coming from Florida and the pill mills, like that's where all that shit ended up. And then up in Toledo, Ohio was ravaged by the opiate crisis, dude. Like Ohio has been hit harder than almost West Virginia, Ohio, Maine's big, Virginia, the Appalachian area is what they were really, really targeting. But then you mix that in with, defunct plutonium factory. Everybody's got cancer. Like when I say everybody has cancer, everybody has cancer there.
Oh yeah. And I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but I think something's going on, like in our spot. There's so many, like, because we're not very big. We don't have a very big population in our little community here, but there are so
Mhm.
many people that end up with brain tumors around here. You start looking into it.
Yeah,
My dad
absolutely.
was diagnosed with one when he was in grade school. The same year, a second kid from his class passed away of one. I have a cousin that has one. And you start looking into it, and it's just so many of them. And like, if you put it together with the population, like something's weird. Something
It's
is
weird. Now
Totally.
that you say that, my friend's sister had one like a year or two ago, and she got to get surgery.
it's weird.
That's weird.
I don't know.
And
I don't know if it's from all the factories down south, like where I work, if it's the runoff and the pollution blowing up this way, or what the deal is. But you start looking into it, and there is an abnormal number of that shit going on around here. But
Yeah, man.
we're all
All
in all
over.
kinds of tangents here.
Awesome, guys. You guys are crushing it. Keep it up. Love the show tonight. What I talked about was a little bit depressing, but I think it's important for people to know what you're dealing with this Palestine situation.
Absolutely.
And this railroad just debacle.
yeah, it's a shit
but-
show.
But all
If
you
people
beautiful
like
people in
if
the chat, you
yeah,
guys
if
are
people
awesome.
like you guys don't talk about it, then people aren't going to hear it. You know what I mean? They're going to
Right.
hear what the
Yeah.
media puts out, and we know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the UAP stuff, I mean, I've been told 2023 is going to be the biggest year ever. It's already starting off with a bang, but beware. Everybody on this stream and listening to this knows what's up, but it's going to get weird.
Let's
for
do
sure.
this. We're
That's
in
a
it.
fact.
It's going to be, hey, luckily we're in the podcast and in doing podcasts because there's no shortage of episodes right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. We got to keep the knowledge flowing for everybody.
That's what's up. Well, you boys have a good night. I'm gonna sign off. Been fun, guys.
Likewise, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so
you
much
as
for
well,
calling.
brother. Stay safe out that
All
way,
right.
man.
All right, peace.
Later.
See ya. Oh yeah, we got an extended night shift this evening.
That's about 30 minutes longer than we normally run.
Yeah. But well, that'll about wrap it up. Yeah, that whole situation out there.
It
You
sucks,
hear it
man.
over, yeah. And as far as the opioid epidemic, like you look, I'm sure it's everywhere, but I just know it from living in the Midwest. Like every small town is seemingly ravaged
Oh yeah,
by it, and
it's weird.
it
It's
almost
weird
seems
too.
like it's by design.
It probably is to keep all of us in shitty spots.
Yeah. Again, thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for everybody that called in. Check out all our content creator friends in here. I know I always miss people when I say it. Strange Road Boys, the AI Boys, Burton's in here kicking it. Just everybody. I apologize if I miss anyone.
Uncomfortable.
Yep, Uncomfortable's in here.
Eric.
Shout out to everyone. Just we're all part of this big community that we've put together. So support everybody.
Yep. Hopefully this all keeps growing and it keeps getting weirder. And I mean, some of these calls are just not letting me down at all.
It is.
I love these. Like, I'm just gonna start calling them bizarre home invasions. because they're just some of the
There's a
weirdest
lot of
shit
them
I've
like
ever
that.
heard. I know. It's just we had the damn eyeball tentacle, and now we have an interdimensional disco ball.
Yes. Yes,
Like
it's
it is some of the most bizarre shit I've ever heard in my life. And
when I was listening to him, I was thinking, I'm like, man, we need to write these down. I mean, I know we have documentation via the show,
right,
but I'm
right.
like, we almost need to write these down just in case something happens, in case, you know, we get disappeared and all of our content disappears. Like this is a encyclopedia of weirdness that, you know, people don't get to talk about.
And it's cool because I was gonna say it's not pretty much just what you just hit on, but like if it wasn't for the night shift and the ability for these conversations to take place, we would probably never have heard about them stories.
No.
You know what I'm
People are
saying? Like,
still, it's like we always say, it's still taboo to talk about,
yeah.
you know?
Well, and you hear how nervous some people are calling in.
Yeah.
You know, and then like the first caller, you know, she's like, I feel like she was so hesitant because she thought she sounded crazy, like she felt crazy. And it's like, but listen, we've been there. Like,
Yeah. Trust
we
me,
know how
you're
you
not.
feel.
You're
No,
not.
no, no.
Because we've all
It's
had
been,
experiences that we cannot explain. Experiences where we're like, did that just happen to me?
yeah, yeah. Like even, I mean, me and Steve had them together, and those are the ones that are even crazier. The ones that we can both independently verify. In like, I don't know. It's just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah, it's a wild world, man. It's only gonna get
It is.
wilder. That's why we're all here. We all got to keep everyone informed, because if we don't, nobody will. So again, thank you all for hanging out with us. I know it's getting late. We're gonna sign off here, but again, another awesome chat. It was over triple digits almost all night again. Once you guys hit 100,
it's
it just
awesome.
hung out there. It was great. Chat was wild. Again, lot of dope content creators in here. Check them out. Uncomfortable, Strange Road, Burton, Local Legends, Paranormal Trucker. I don't know if he chimed in tonight, but he's usually in here kicking it with us. Check out everybody that's like, I don't think people understand the amount of time and effort that goes into creating this content. I think it gets overlooked
it's crazy.
quite a bit. So support everybody. There's tons of good people here, and the community we're building is our community. So we gotta make it what it is.
I second that.
Until next week, Night Shift, Hollow Cult Night Shift. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for everyone calling in. Amass those weird stories because I want them rolling next week.
Hell yeah.
And until then, like, subscribe, you know the rule. But stay safe out there. Stay weird. And I don't know. Just know that the things they're shooting down aren't Chinese spy balloons.